Do you think we can expect a dunk from you in the near future?
I can't yet, but I hope maybe at the end of the season I can do it.
So there you have it. That's Mary Covden with Lamar Women's Basketball. And obviously there's a lot of excitement surrounding the program, and for very good reason. I'm Angie Green, Fox 4 Sports. It's been 20 years since the Lamar football team has officially held a practice. With kickoff less than a month away, the Cardinals are out here in the practice fields and couldn't be more excited to strap up their helmets and get to business. With one senior on this year's team, you may think that they are inexperienced. With 5 returning starters, they look to make a big impact in the Southland Conference. Now they're gearing up for Thursday night's game against Oakland, right here on Fox 4. The Lady Cardinals have no seniors on this year's team, but these young players have hopes of winning a Southland Conference championship and returning to the NCAA tournament. The fever couldn't be any higher here in Southeast Texas. Now we are 2 weeks away from the first week of high school Friday night football. That's when we'll be done talking and let the area teams grind it out on the field. We're less than a month away from the season opener for the Lamar Cardinals, and competition for starting positions is heating up. None bigger than at quarterback, where you have 2 guys who have started games last season and a local guy who transferred from a major Division I university. There are currently 6 quarterbacks on Ray Woodard's depth chart. All 6 will not compete for a starting spot, but 3 will. Coach Woodard said they'll start the way they ended the spring, with Doug Pruitt number 1, Andre Bevel number 2, and West Virginia transfer Jeremy Johnson number 3. This does not mean Pruitt will start the season opener against Texas College, but the big man guarantees that all 3 quarterbacks will get an opportunity to seize the starting job.
No, well, we're going to start out the way we ended up spring right now, but we're going to make sure that all 3 of those young men are getting time with the first unit. And a decision won't be made probably until game week or right before it.
Yeah, so no one will officially be listed as first team. So what are the
well, we'll have a one so we don't have 3 guys sticking their head in the huddles, but we're not ready to name a starting quarterback right now.
We have a lot of great quarterbacks. That's one thing that we don't have to worry about. If one quarterback gets hurt, we have someone else that can come in and do a very good job. So hopefully we'll get that settled, but we really don't know right now who the quarterback will be, but we have 3 good ones. So I'm very excited about the season and them being able to get the ball to the receiving corps.
After weeks of speculation, former Arkansas offensive lineman Anthony Oden was seen watching practice at Provest-Unfree Stadium. Oden's the younger brother of former number 1 overall NBA pick, Greg Oden. The 6'8", 328-pound sophomore was dismissed by Arkansas last month for violation of team rules. Oden was one of the top recruits in the entire country in 2008. He was the first Razorback true freshman to start on the offensive line since 2001. If and when Oden signs, he'll have 3 years of eligibility remaining. Losing 7 of your last 9 games can get a little frustrating. Just ask University of Texas head coach Mack Brown. After a disappointing 5-7 season, Brown said Texas will be back in the national spotlight sooner rather than later. The Horns were the only team in the country with a top 6 defense and a losing record. Mack Brown is relying on the former Kelly standout Keyston Randall to anchor the front 4 of this young defense.
Our numbers are in good shape at defensive tackle, but someone's got to step up and be a consistent player. Keyston Randall is that player. Now we got to get him some help. I mean, we got enough names, and I've told them all that they've been here long enough now. We can't keep talking about young. Time to produce.
We told you that it was more than likely going to happen, but we didn't imagine that it would happen within 24 hours. This morning, team owner Jerry Jones met with a few players and told them not to bother reporting to training camp on Wednesday. Amongst those players are Marion Barber, Roy Williams, Leonard Davis, and Chris Brown. By cutting Williams and Barber alone frees up over $9 million in salary cap space. There is also the possibility that tackle Mark Colombo will be added to the list. Here's Jerry Jones leaving his office today, and keep in mind he wouldn't use any specific names on who the boys are looking to acquire.
Because of where we are under the cap, we can operate, and we will operate, but we'll be very prudent as to who we get, and they'll have to fit just right for us.
And you can catch the Cowboys' first preseason game this Thursday night right here on Fox 4 starting at 9:30. Making it to the playoffs is an annual tradition for the Nederland Bulldogs. That's what fans expect year in and year out. The expectations for Larry Newman's club are always high, and this year's no different.
We try not to really raise the standards every year, but it's depending on how we work through the off season and everything. And what gives us great optimism here is what kind of off season we have every year.
The Bulldogs are coming off of their 13th playoff appearance in 14 years, despite being hit by the injury bug. They had to rally to win their last 3 games in order to secure the final playoff spot in District 24A, finishing 5-6 overall.
I hope we don't get in that situation again, honestly. But if it does, then we'll be ready. We'll have that adversity experience, and we'll hopefully get in the playoffs once again.
This Nederland Bulldog team has a lot of experience coming back, especially on the defensive end of the ball. But as Coach Newman put it, sometimes the ability to play on the field outweighs the experience factor.
Experience is always a good thing. Performance overrides experience. And I don't think anybody out here today would tell you they were satisfied with the way we performed last year. A bunch of those guys were playing last year, but I think their expectations are to perform a whole lot better. The experience will help them do that, but you got to do it. And all this stuff about how many people you got coming back and all that, good talk, and it makes good magazine read. But what really matters is what you do between them lines on Friday night.
And the season kicks off with a tough one. They'll take on 3A powerhouse West Orange Stark, who are now led by Cornell Thompson. Last year, the Mustangs took down the Dogs 40-19.
We've not shied away from really very competent non-district foes, and West Orange is definitely one of those. We'll get a very physical football team in them, a lot of speed, excellently coached, and hard-nosed football. That's what we're used to with West Orange Stark, and it makes us better.
But in 2011, the Bulldogs don't want to just make an appearance in the playoffs, but to take it all the way to the house.
I think we can, us and the team, we work together and prepare and everything. I think we're going to get it this year.
From Nederland, I'm Angie Green, Fox 4 Sports.
1, 2, 3. BT Striders!
For the young track runner, what better than to run at the National Junior Olympics? That's exactly where one Beaumont Youth Track Club is headed.
I'm very excited to make it to the National Junior Olympics because I made it last year, and it's very outstanding that I made it this year again.
The BT Striders is a non-profit organization. They are sanctioned by the Amateur Athletic Union and USA Track and Field Golf Association, taking part in the highest youth level of competition.
Our goal is for them to have this experience, go and experience track on a higher level, and see what track has to offer for them.
In order to qualify for the Olympics, the runners have to place in the top 5 at the qualifier meet. With over 1,000 participants competing in the Area 13 qualifier meet, 6 BT Striders managed to place in the top 5 in their events. Their next destination, the National Junior Olympics meet in New Orleans. And the BT Striders Youth Track Club couldn't be feeling any better right now. The club was just established in 2010 and already has appeared in 2 National Junior Olympic meets.
Last year we had 4 and this year we have 6, and it's very exciting to have more people join the National Junior Olympics.
New Orleans, get ready. The Striders are sprinting into town. Angie Green, Fox 4 Sports.
All right, strides. Let's go.